Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet two of the driving forces behind the Dallas Ski Club. It's been around for 70 years. That's right, Dallas Ski Club. You wouldn't think about it, but their journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right. Today we're going to talk about the Dallas Ski Club. You heard that right, the Dallas Ski Club, and it's the second oldest ski club in the nation. I mean, you think about all of the wonderful places to ski in the country, and you don't think about Dallas. So joining us today, Bill Baillie and Vince Hrenak. They are both with the Dallas Ski Club. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on the show.
Sure, thank you for having us.
Vince, let's start with you. How did this start? 7
Sure
years
enough.
ago?
Yeah, well, actually how the Dallas Ski Club started in 1955 is quite humorous, but also shows why the Dallas Ski Club is part of the Dallas history, because and also the oldest ski club in Texas, by the way. And what happened in 1955 is that Ernie Blake, who then owned the Taos, New Mexico ski resort, came to Dallas, and he met at the Dallas YMCA, and he wanted to talk about skiing. And so then Dick Bass was there. And now this is the Dick Bass of Dallas, who's financial, not the Bass brothers of Fort Worth or oil. And as Ernie Blake went on talking, he asked Dick Bass about, a Dallas Ski Club, and Dick says, we don't have one. And he took him to task. He says, you don't have one? Wow. And so all of a sudden, Dick Bass looks at him and he says, okay, we're starting a ski club now. Then he nominates his brother Harry, who's out of country, international travel, and he's not a snow skier, as the president.
Wow.
So Harry Bass was very surprised that he comes back to the United States and he's the president of the Dallas Ski Club.
Wow.
But it took off immediately because a year later they had 170 members. Shortly after, they had over 700 members. And because of the Bass brothers' great financial success, they had a Boeing 707, and they would fly ski club members around to different resorts to go skiing.
Wow.
And the other thing about why it's such a phenomenal history is Ernie Blake not only owned the Taos ski resort, but then the Bass brothers then were significant investors after that in Aspen, Vail, Steamboat, and then Snowbird in Utah, outside of Salt Lake City. Wow. Dick Bass and his wife built this beautiful hotel that's still there, resort. Even though he's passed now, there's a big plaque in there in memory of he. So it's quite a history, but again, the bottom line, we're really part of the Dallas history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what a rich history. Bill, let's bring you into this. When you got involved about a decade ago?
Yeah, it's right about a decade ago. But really, like a lot of people, when you're young, you ski. I'm from the New England area, so I grew up skiing. And then when I got out of college and began my career here, I got married and started raising kids. The skis went in the attic. So for a number of years, the skis kind of went in the attic, and then all of a sudden, the kids are out of the house. I'm an empty nester. My marital status changed a little bit, so I was kind of looking to get back into skiing. I was really looking to meet some new friends and to have some fellowship, both skiing as well as social. So I met this gal, and she said, well, why don't you join the Dallas Ski Club? So one thing led to another, and about 10 years ago, I decided to join the club and have gone on a number of trips and met a number of that I consider lifelong friends right now. So as you go through these passages in life, Dallas Ski Club was right there for me, and it's one of the best things I've done.
Yes. We're going to pull up your website, and you have a slideshow on your website, and I want you to talk about some of the different resorts that you guys go to. So what are some of the fabulous places that people can expect to experience?
Well, since 1955, we have gone to Aspen every year. And this year we're going to Aspen, and it'll be our 70th anniversary celebration there. In addition to, we're having a party here this next month in Dallas to celebrate our 70th year. And right now we stay in Aspen at what's called the Gant, a very high-level condominium. And it's a phenomenal trip. We usually get over 100 that go there.
Wow.
And if you know Aspen is 4 different ski resorts: Snowmass, Buttermilk,
Yes.
Ajax, Highlands. And then we also do a lot of international trips. So Zermatt, Switzerland is one that the club just loves. Phenomenal place. And next year, we're going to Sodan, Austria. Wow. And Sodan, Austria is where James Bond movie was made.
No kidding.
Absolutely. And while we're there, we're going to also stay in the same hotel, which is a 5-star hotel where the James Bond cast stayed. And it's going to be a phenomenal trip. It's a wide mountain, and it's where every year the snow races world snow races are held.
Wow.
But we go to Austria. We have a lot of other trips all over the U.S. and Canada, but also we have a lot of non-ski trips. I think, Bill, you can talk about those.
Yeah, I've been on a number of non-ski trips as well, and one of my favorites was to Portugal. And we started in Lisbon. Then we took a quick bus ride up to the Douro River mouth, and we got on a river cruise. I'd never been on a cruise before, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that. And this river cruise, it only had like 40 staterooms. Went up the Douro River. It was just spectacular for about 5-6 years. Ended up in a very famous shrine called Fatima. So we got a little bit of history in the country. And then we turned around and came back, and you go through the locks and the mountainside. They've been making wine in the Douro River since the 1400s. Wow. So there was a lot of unique history that I learned, and the boat was calm. It wasn't rough, which was nice as well. So that's one of my favorite non-ski trips was to Portugal.
Well, and Vince, you were telling me before the show that something like 60% of your members are non-skiers.
Oh, yes. It's quite interesting. First of all, you go from 1955 to now, 70 years. That's quite a bit of history. Yeah. And so the club has morphed every which way. And during that time, a lot of non-skiers then got intrigued with joining the ski club. And I only joined the club about 8 years ago, and I was really quite surprised myself. And then as I talked to more and more members, and I being a snow skier myself, I then realized that the reason the non-snow skiers joined is because snow skiers around the world have the same culture. You go any country, and it's almost, we don't have to speak their language, but it's the same culture, and it's one of being active.
Yes.
And it's also one of having fun and also a lot of social activity. But skiers overall too, I've found that in our club, like we have one member who's 87 years old, 2 artificial needs, and he leads some of us in skiing.
Wow.
So what I'm communicating is that we're very active, but also just our demeanor around the world as snow skiers. Non-skiers are just like to hang around with us. So when we have ski trips, we assure that there's activity for non-skiers, but then also during the summer when there's no snow, they participate greatly then in the non-ski trips, like Bill was talking about non-ski trips. And it just keeps growing and growing, non-skiers that are interested.
Wow. And Gen Z is interested. Do you want to talk about that, Bill?
Yeah, the other thing regarding the social aspect is the number of activities that are outside skiing, outside traveling. It's what we do on a consistent basis. For example, we have a group that meets every Tuesday and they go bike riding around White Rock. Wow. We have another group, and as most people know, pickleball is becoming very popular. We've had 2 little pickleball tournaments, and now we have a group that has formed friendships, and they play pickleball every week. We've got a couple of golf tournaments, and now there's a group of guys that get together and they play golf every Thursday. And these are all activities that I think attract the Gen Zers as well.
Yes.
And so we're kind of diversifying our approach and really what we're offering to the Dallas community to attract the Gen Zers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We grabbed some pictures off your Facebook page. We're going to put them up on the screen. I want you to tell us what we're looking at. Vince, what is that?
Well, this here is a group picture of one of our ski trips. And what we do is on every one of our ski trips, we assure that we get a group photo of who's there from our club. Now, one other thing that I'll mention is Texas overall has what's called Texas Ski Council. So there's clubs in San Antonio, Houston, whatever.
Sure.
So we can be on a trip with all of them or just by ourselves. And so this is a trip where we're on ourselves. But if you go through our photos of the club in the last 70 years, you're going to find in every ski trip a group photo like this.
Yes. Let's go to the next picture. And do you remember this one?
Yes. Again, this one, but I'm going to just characterize this, that on the slopes, we also get group photos. We try to get one because we have usually a supper every ski trip. But then while we're up on the slope skiing, we try to get everybody together to have a on the slopes photo. And of course, where we ski are just the most beautiful places in the world. So we have photos like this all over of every ski trip we've been on.
And this one could be Aspen right after our racing. So every year in Aspen, we have a NASCAR racing competition.
Nice.
And it's according to ability levels, and we give out little trophies at the end. And people just love the competitive aspect, as well as they walk away with a little medal. And, to go through the gates like the pros do is kind of an exciting thing to do.
Why don't you share, I'd like to hear some of your favorite memories. Why don't we start with you?
Oh, sure.
Vince?
Well, I've been a member of the club only 8 years, by the way, and it feels like it's been a lifetime. It's been such a rewarding experience. But if I look at them, I've had so many great experiences with the ski club. But one that I really do remember was when I initially joined the ski club. I went to Zermatt, Switzerland. And it's just a beautiful place. And somebody has not been there winter or summer is missing something. It's just gorgeous. And so we go to Zermatt, Switzerland, and I don't know, what we're doing there or whatever. So I go with some other ski club members. And they say, okay, well, today we're going to go ski and let's go over to Italy. And I go, we're in Switzerland. No, we can ski over the mountain. So I go with these two other people. And by the way, one of them is this 87-year-old I told you about with two, we call him Titanium Man. So we go up there, and it's 12,500 feet at the top, by the way, and we're out of breath. So we get off the gondola. We have to go across what's ice glacier. And to make a story short, we ski over into Italy. And we're in Italy, but the thing that we didn't think through very well is that at 3 o'clock, the lift closes to take you from Italy back to Switzerland. And this was 8 years ago when you had to have your passport. We had no Italian money. We had no accommodations arranged. So we go for lunch. We sit there, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, we asked the maitre d', where's our lunch? Oh, it'll be served soon. And, Italians, they're fun-loving, but they're a different culture than the Swiss, not exactly precise on time. Yeah. So after all this time, he goes, go upstairs. So we go upstairs, clunk, clunk, clunk in our ski boots, sit down, we tell them we got to meet this. We're sitting there now another half hour. And finally, we go, oh my gosh, we're going to miss the lift. And if we miss the lift, we're stuck in Italy with no money, no accommodations, no passport. We raced like crazy to where the lift is to go back over into Switzerland. And we're just getting there like crazy. And all of a sudden, the gate, it's the iron gate that starts coming down. The two in front of me make it in front. I was not going to make it. And I didn't know what to do. And I go back, I hold the gate up. I race through it. The guard there goes, you can't do that. And we jumped on the lift and went back to Switzerland. So that's probably one of the most humorous, experience I remember.
It does sound like a James Bond film. Bill, what's your favorite memory?
I've got several, but let me just identify this one. And it was a trip we took to South America. and it started in Santiago, and then went all the way down to Patagonia. And the Patagonia, if you've never been there, there's a combination of hiking, horseback riding, taking a catamaran right to a huge glacier. And during one of the hikes, and I think Vince might have been there, we're kind of hiking down through this cavern, and then at the end of it, there's this huge cliff. And the guides that were with us, they said, okay, now we're offering rappelling down this cliff.
Wow.
Okay, and the cliff was probably 300 or 400 feet. So out of the 10 or 12 of us that were on this little hike, about 3 or 4 of us decided, yeah, we're going to go for it. Yeah, we're going to go for it, of course. So the 3 or 4 of us go up there along with both guides. You know, they put on all the gear, all the regalia and the pitons and the ropes and everything. And so this gal went down first, you know, she did perfect. And then there was this other gentleman, he was just talking. Oh, I've done this 100 times, no problem, nothing. Well, he goes over the edge and immediately loses his weight, and he ends up upside down.
Oh, no.
About 20 feet over the cliff.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I'm standing up there with the 2 guides, and I had to hold the safety cord while they went down to rescue the gentleman whose name will go unnamed. And so we got him, and so that was kind of an experience.
Wow.
But the other one I'll just mention real briefly is a trip that we did last year on a yacht that had 40 staterooms only. Started out in Greece and went up the West Passage up through Montenegro and into Dubrovnik. And Dubrovnik, for those that don't know, is where Game of Thrones was filmed. The city is still a lively place, the old city of Dubrovnik. It looks just like TV. And to walk through those streets, you know, that had thousands of years of history, was really a remarkable experience. And of course, the ship we're on, 40 staterooms, we took the whole boat, was really an experience of a lifetime.
Wow. We've got about 2 minutes left, so I want you both to talk to the person who is watching this saying, maybe I need to get involved. You have happy hours. I mean, there's lots of ways to get involved.
Absolutely. I know myself, before I joined the club, I was intimidated at first because I've skied my life, but not a great skier. And the thing that I found out when I joined was that we have skiers from absolute beginners to the absolute double black tree huggers, we call them. And if you've never skied, or you haven't skied for 10 or 20 years or whatever, should not feel intimidated in joining, because there's a ski clinic in Steamboat in December.
Oh, cool.
And it's a ski clinic. First of all, it's very affordable, because ski lessons these days, unfortunately, are quite expensive. And this ski clinic in Steamboat, held in December, it has ski instructors from around the country come in because they want to get ready for January and February. So they're really not charging much. And so what we get on this ski clinic is we get five days of instruction, 6 hours a day. In addition, you get a couple of barbecue meals, dinner up on a mountain, lunch every day. But bottom line is for somebody who's never skied, all the way up to the most advanced skiers, and we stay at the Grand Hotel, which is the best hotel in Steamboat. I'm only pricing what it was last year. For the whole week, $1,650. See, as a group,
Great deal, yeah.
we could do better. If somebody tries to do ski trips, etc., on their own, they don't have the group synergy.
Yes.
And so the club, just because it's a ski club, there should be no intimidation if you haven't skied in a while or you haven't skied, because you're going to be among the majority of us that are really mediocre or really don't ski that well.
All right, we're going to give you the final word, Bill. What would you like to say?
Yeah, so why does somebody join the ski club? And what is the cost? And what is the process? And what does it really offer? An annual membership is under $100. And for that, you have access to go on, just to evaluate any trip, go to any happy hour, go to any one of our sporting events and get your body moving again. And there's no downside. There's just no downside to come. The first time you come, you can come to a happy hour as a guest. You can meet a number of people. You'll kind of feel your way through it, decide if this is something you really want to do. But there's no risk. There's no downside. All you can do is enrich your life. You know, whether it's skiing, whether it's travel, you know, whether, you know, you just want to meet some new friends. It's just something that you can add on top of your life incrementally. So I would certainly also appeal to the folks that are maybe in the middle part of their careers. Start now. Don't wait till you're retired. Get involved now. Start building those relationships now, and you'll find that'll be very rewarding.
Wow. Great way to end the show. We're also going to leave you with the website, which is DallasSkiClub.org. Bill and Vince, thanks for sharing your heart and your wisdom and the rich history of this amazing organization.
Thank you very much.
That's it for
thank
now.
you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.